I will say I probably favour that for Falcons a little bit more. Cafe's been a map that they've loved. I know recent form maybe not be too hot on that map, but they have loved it for a long time.
I mean, historically, one of the...
That was just Amber with a very quick no response, but we'll say thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
To a wonderful desk people.
Goodbye.
Any last words?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No,
Sorry, Borat just came onto the broadcast there.
they faded and out like they just like yoink. Who was the MVP last time these two teams met is immediately in and immediately gone. Oh, they had the drone on the player at the back.
No sense at all. It looks like Falcons are just going to try and ignore him and just walk down a slight. EFAC, where are you going?
Well, he's going to go and get a double kill demo because that's what EFAC does. Hit by an Echo drone. They're going to see if, well, for a second they were going to see if they could try and stick a plant. The Clash is doing something, but they don't have the control over blue. They're waiting for the rotate round, and now it's going to become a post-plant situation. They have the cross angle from the bottom of the main stairs. They're concerned about a rotate coming from behind them, and, well, there's Lolo getting one. The Clash has been able to get their way across the divide. A bit of a scratch from behind. There's users putting the pressure in so they can't deploy the shield. They have to try and fight their way forward, so they drive all the way into the back of the Habana, hit and baited right in towards Lolo, now forced out in towards Dirt. Users has kept himself a bit separate. They need to try and secure the kill onto either of them because they can't just sit on the defuse. There's Users round the back getting one. Shaiko takes that as the moment to push on forward. Users gets another onto the Clash. There's at least a trade out, but at this point he's just got to hold the kit. Tries to bait it, can't. And Falcons, all or nothing players, they stand out a lot more when mistakes happen, I think. Ooh, and Brede disconnecting is rough. The round is already deep in progress at this point. The 5 versus 3 with Shaiko obviously almost getting caught as well by Akwi. 40 seconds. We're still away, but the only tune that we're probably going to be having here is 1-1. The fight just underneath is an easy one for Lolo to pick up, and the approach here has been read. On towards CC as well. There's Akwi getting another hop out. And leaving just Users alone. Lost where they were before, but MACKO have to be confident to do things like this. Oh no! Oh no! He didn't know!
Oh.
You lose this, the best you can get is 5th or 6th place. As that pressure leads in. Oh, Lolo does get a great one, and he was almost a saving grace the first round down here.
Pulled a bomb chassis now, so potentially somebody pushing down blue could be able to pick him off, but I think it depends on how Teb plays this. You know, this Clash can be a massive game changer, and it looks as though Kitchen's going to be the option for them, not Church. And a whole lot of pick from Brede drops down. Here comes the Clash, but you need to try and help him. Where is Lolo? You need to help your Clash.
Well, at this point, the Clash is just surrounded, and they're trying to, delay the time. I think at this, there's, no.
Be a saving grace there from MACKO just as the time started ticking away, but he mustn't have had any.
We'll just keep going until we're no longer going. I mean, now it's for 4 versus 4. But stranger things have happened, Demo, in the last 30 minutes. So,
yep. We'll keep playing. Yep. We'll see how this goes.
At this point, they're surrounding themselves in towards the situation on the back of the site. But, you know, you think about the Ash gone, it's going to make getting under the wall a bit tougher. Unless you just do this, Demo.
Dear. Oh, rookie mistake from Dora. Sitting on, I think, for Falcons just be able to move in and get this plant down because they have nothing to worry about. And they're actually going to just push in free breach, not even try and take Garage. A trade, though, will come in. Brede able to get one before Lolo, of course, gets that kill back in favor. And MACKO trying to see if they can hold back EFAC, who is in the middle. And now it comes down to a 1v1. EFAC up against Teb, but do either know where one another is? We've got a red ping, so yes, they do. Teb knows exactly where to aim for EFAC, who at the moment is scrambling to find any remnants of where he could be, but Teb is playing this patient, waiting for the yellow pings. Diffuser has to try and go and get to B. EFAC beats him in for the swing.
Together, Solotov now pushing up with Shaiko in towards blue. They've got pressure on the opposite end of bottom main, but EFAC gets chewed up on the approach. Akwi and Lolo find one apiece. Solotov's massively hurt, and there's Akwi from Dirt getting one more, leaving just Solotov alone.
Ooh, nice little shot. still. You need 3 of them and no HP to do so. MACKO on the board. And Dora is very happy with that one. Boy,
Lightest step up is everything.
yeah.
Will there be some heat that comes behind it? Not from Lolo.
Falcons have been pretty ratty, especially EFAC. Lolo.
Solotov gets onto Akwi, pulls themselves back. It's the 5 versus 3 at this point, and the pressure just keeps on coming. They almost cross their own fights there, but Dora does get a smoke canister out. Shaiko steps in behind the Kiva, helped partially by it. Pops the fire on towards the Clash, pushes them slightly further away. They're able to root around the back of the site itself, but they still have a minute. Now they don't have Shaiko. Teb gets one out, and EFAC going for the long route round. It's... Oh, Teb! Driven in gets another. They'll have the reveal of somebody coming in underneath. The Fenrir just popped out on EFAC's rotate, so that puts the pressure back onto them now. You can see that they've popped the fire. Dora gets used as the backline is held because nobody is watching from the CC Balk. 30 seconds. And Falcons started strong, sort of faded into the Aether here, up against the Clash that's just going to replace them, because you can see that they've realized nobody's coming from behind them. They rotate round to the opposite side, peppering the fire to nobody who is currently still home. They're worried about this entrance, and fair enough, but I think they fully stacked it and fully dropped it. Somehow, MACKO, Dora Ghost.
You see the Clash, the power of that operator can just sit in front of that open breach and stop anyone from Falcons. Obviously just sitting outside instead of waiting for the util dump to come in. You know, those Grimbees came in whenever it was a 3v3. Why did nobody... So, has gave Shaiko, of course, that strong operator that we know he plays so well on. Oh dear, Dora, you fell for such an easy... I mean, I wouldn't say it's the oldest trick because it's still very new, but certainly a new trick that you should know at this level. That new canister pipe, I've seen a lot of pro players die to that. You should always be shooting that if you were roaming upstairs. You should have popped that immediately as the blitz, because again, the fire will last for 5 seconds. It really doesn't slow your approach, but for that very reason, it's basically like a pocket C4 that EFAC had sitting on the door.
Well, Lolo gets the take onto EFAC. They had the watch, they had the pressure. It's a perfect hammer and
Removing these mirror windows is going to be tricky, especially whenever they are comboed with the mute jammer, so the Habana pelts will have no effect. So they just have to try and just force their way in via kills, but it's going to be tricky.
Well, a C4 double is going to make it trickier, but Lolo does find users as the trade out sort of fell in. However, look where the kid is, look where the players are. It's a quick rotate round from the Capital to pick it up. They have a pinch here onto the site, but 15 seconds to try and drive themselves on, and an easy pickup all the way. Now just have to cover the rotate round and cover the plant itself. You can see they have the reveal. They're going wider and wider. Just close on the swing. There's the post plant. There's the cover, all down to Pre-Day. Rotating round, just misses it. Too late and covered by MACKO. It's 2 versus 4. The next swing round and driving into Logi and just trying to hope for this kill, but there's a trade out. There's the first. Now there's a second not too far away. They're not sure what side to swing. Drops the kit, uses, but instantly traded out. They didn't know Lolo was close on the wall, but there's always another BDS player seemingly right now ready to rumble and swing on. Another Banshee. Another reveal that they're trying to approach themselves in. They made the best out of a bad situation of the breach being a little bit scuppered.
Throwing frag
the pre-fire angles, but with 40 seconds. Oh, and Ghost getting the split in the cover. It's traded out. They drive behind it, Lolo! Levels thing. They had a good information game. They just need to try and find a way to rebuild into it and go against the impassioned Italians. Well, there's not the perfect start. EFAC caught out there. Lolo on one side, Dora on the other. Oh, and the second, Solotov, he knew he had to fight his way out. It wasn't the wrong choice, but unfortunately, it was a price to be paid, Demo. Pepper, they've got loads of time to work out, as I said, the full health blitz, and that's going to be the attempt to get the early drop on. But Akwi is gifted users. Now, he's obviously quite hurt. The trade comes out from Shaiko, but Shaiko gets dropped and Pre-Day gets Ghost. Dora pushing their way in. They're just going to go for the plant at this point. Pre-Day, the man of a million clutches. Can he get 1,000,001? Has all the pings. He's going to go around the opposite side. The C4 is good, but it's a post plant with a blitz and some cover coming round on the side of Moto. He has to somehow isolate. 2 1 versus 1s does a lot of damage to Dora, drifting aimlessly. But at this point, oh, he almost had the snap to Teb, but Teb in a row.
Wow, wow, wow. Great reposition as well from Teb in that 1v2. Realizing, what are you doing over there?
The Hibana trick is harder than you think. Oh, as is just running in. Yeah, I mean, this is well played by Falcons. They've just slowed everything down. They've made everything super uncomfortable for the approach. The closest fight here is a turtle position of Users, who's more than happy to play this solo, but Bride's on his way. There's the Clash to offer some support. They get the 2-person close down. Clash is a little bit late, but there's 40 seconds, Demo. They've only just got in towards CC.
Oh, almost there for Shaiko, and gets punished because of that, leaves his position. Lolo able to get the kill, but still the trader back and forth with 25 seconds remaining, and still a clash you have to go through. This is going to be tight for MACKO.
I mean, they're going to force their way onto the clash here. 15 seconds. It's a fight over the top, but EFAC has the swing round. They've pushed all the way up against the mirror window. Solotov gets the lockout there, and a couple of points I'll raise in a second, as Acquioli has a couple of HP left at this point, and the clash shows we know exactly where you are. Falcons slow the pace of the game down and bring us back level, but right against the door, and the Kiba slowing them right back. There is people coming in from behind Shaiko at this point, but they have support all the way down in oil. Somebody is watching and waiting for Lolo. It's a very close fight that EFAC wins out, and Bride gets Acquia. 5 versus 3. They pull themselves in. Ghost does get Shaiko, and Ghost gets Bride. Cut their way across. So EFAC is a little separated, but Solotov watches, and Teb trades it out. 2 versus 2. One of them is a shield inside the site, though, and the separation between the two players is pretty tragic. If they don't know, well, they don't. Teb swings round, gets one, but the Monty, he's got aggro. He's got the kit. What is he doing? What's he playing at? The C4 doesn't decide it. They just have to watch, just have to wait, just have to stop him either side. Solotov slips his way through. Solotov! The barrel. Shaiko will just keep their head and often the ponytail. They've seen many a army killed. Oh! But not like that. Acqui gets Shaiko from the window, just saw enough. Now, downed underneath as well. EFAC is potentially out of contention if they can swing in confidently. There was the removal of Dora. At the same sort of moment, they've lost the Hibana. They've lost the big aspect of their breach, but it seemed like the breach portion they'd done was well put together. Sprayed through the soft. Ghost confirms EFAC. 45 seconds. 3 versus 4. But, as we fully well know, between these two teams, it is not over until it is fully over. So, at this point, Users holding on, waiting to go for the swing as somebody approached up the stairs themselves. Bride for exactly the same drive on the breach. Solotov underneath, making sure that Red is secured. The C4 impacts the first. Users pulls himself around and gets the second. Great first 2 picks, but there's a trade out in a 2 versus 2. The Clash trying to push their way up. They're going for the plant in the cover of the silence, and there's a great read. And only a Clash left. Smash the shield, put the pressure on the player, and force them further and further out. Now, so they go for the pickup. They think it's too risky. We are going to overtime.
He's going to be opened up. It just applies the extra bit of pressure. They themselves also has popped open the mirror window, so it does give somebody the gap, but it's really not going to play that big of a part in it. Still for MACKO, just going for the motions, finding another pick, but Shaiko gets one in return. He's really in the hot seat at the moment as Azami, all those windows, needs to try and block off and try and slow down the Italian approach.
Well, a minute 10, and obviously they've lost one, and there's the second. Shaiko just swinging back towards gym window, potentially. They might try and lock out the fight here to the right first. There's the stun over the top. They're drawing the attention, but that's going to buy them the opportunity to get in.
Great double swing.
Shaiko gets another for his tally. Bride gets one more. And 20 seconds. The opening 2 bodies were theirs, but Shaiko with a 4K. Falcons have found success of just pushing in towards the site. Are we going to see that again? EFAC does get caught out by Teb, and Solotov misses his big moment against Dora. Now, if they can try and push this kill, it becomes a 5 versus 3. The impacts and everything thrown towards them, but it's an awkward approach here. Either side is narrow, and Bride's on the back. It's a trade out. But Solotov gets one down to a pistol. There's blind.
Wow.
Gets a second, but Teb also keeps the pressure on. Shaiko moves through the fire, and Ghost gets them dropped. Solotov the first here, but the last left standing. spraying over the top. A minute 10. They know exactly where he is. Might know they've got the kit down inside dirt as well, but they don't even need to care about that demo. Just
Another
popping.
Goyo. Nice.
Another Goyo, full sent it. There's the rotate. Hits the ankle, but barely any damage. The cover of the smoke, but they've pushed themselves in. They don't get the kill. Round the back, the C4 gets the down onto the Monty. Now, EFAC moves himself into an aggressive position, but with the Monty down, this approach is tougher to make. Ghost does get it, but there's 10 blimmin' seconds left here, Demo. They gotta get a shift on. Picking the Monty up, going for the drop. It's 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills to go Falcons' way. And MACKO just could not get it to land. All the distance Falcons needed.
We just want to move on into the next map, into Nighthaven. And again, don't forget, when you look at Labs, Labs is almost like a modern day clubhouse in many senses.
Okay, I agree with you, but I want you the desks to get the mirror window. Ooh, they just see the bullets and traces come from the lying down player, but it's Solotov with the swing out on towards Ghost. They doubled up and they were like, look, let's go deal with one problem with 2 of us, then we can at least win the trade and we can just focus elsewhere. Obviously now Lolo's taking some damage from a goo mine, but they're worried about being swung on. Akwi does get EFAC, puts us into the 3. Entirely going to get surrounded at this point, but again, as you said, it buys into what Falcons want, which is time. Time's on their favor. Push up and the knock right back down as Fish goes, and now it just leaves 1 in the warehouse. But the only thing seemingly stocked this round, Demo, is the Falcons clean up on aisle 9.
There's been a spillage, and it is sadly the blood of MACKO. And yeah, Falcons just don't need to do anything. They need to go storage, because if Solotov has like a head hole or just a floor hole, anything, he can stop them going in from for default plant. But right now, MACKO, they're just going to see if they can full send it in. And oh, down goes Solotov, and yeah, that should be a clean sweep for MACKO. Nobody above, no pressure, all that C4. Again, they can bait it out. Still plenty of time to work with.
Yeah, that's the C4, and Akwi survives with a face full of shrapnel, but as the blinds come round, there needs to be some following pressure. There's a slip on by, but Dora was actually shooting somebody else, and MACKO with a flawless response.
This will be a common theme. It's just this constant roam pressure that Falcons will try and deliver. Again, it just feels as though that MACKO, they're trying to avoid that and just walk into sight. And again, it's not working for them. Just don't know what the idea is. Look at this, Bride. Just line them up, knocking them down as a whole. Watching onto that game's door, and last guy know where he is now. That's that IT breach. Matter of seconds, the round's done, more or less.
He's sort of using him to fish for other players. They just need to set up to play on contact. You can see one's rotated their way across the divide. The other, perfectly read.
I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. They don't have upstairs control. How can they go for that take? Yes, they've got IT breach open.
Out the pressure, drawing them in, hoping to get more of them lured to this. The Grim watching and waiting for the swing round. Lolo wants to make their way up from behind, and a great camera just watches a death. There's 2. What a... I mean, it's a great removal there from the side of Falcons. They get rid of the Monty.
EFAC's been able to pick up good information, knowing where Akwi is, and that should be a free kill to C4, which it will be. So yeah, pulse. Pick. Didn't see that one coming, and a flawless. Yeah.
Akwi's tried to cut their way through the middle. They're about to find a fight on the swing. Ooh, do they know exactly where the player is? Oh, but they still lose it. Brady stands for bloody hell. How's he done that? 5-2. Solotov makes it 5-1 and starts slamming the tack time button.
Oh, Ghost. Yeah, another flop, just back to back.
It's a direct cut and drive through. They're worried about being caught on the swing. It's another call. There's a player on the hatch themselves that might try and put the pressure on, but there's Lolo getting Bride. Well, it just dropped immediately down the hatch. The reveal. They're inside gaming. They're playing pool. You need to start potting them. Tev tries an EFAC, gets caught out. The blind through the drone hole, gets the swing round on that last caught player, and this from MACKO has been phenomenal. Step by step, procedural destruction. The post-plant, Shaiko would have to ace clutch to get themselves this round.
Ooh. Well, he'll make a good effort at it, but Predefined in 30 seconds to do so. It's gonna be a big ask, and he finds the third. Well, more or less has found the third. Will secure the kill. 2 more to find, but the important thing is to note, look where that diffuser's planted. He's never going to be able to kill both of them before that diffuser. It's going to be giving him enough time to go for it. He will try an attempt at the long arm, but as expected, an easy swing. And MACKO this time, same strategy. They went for something different, and it has backfired for them. So yeah, much better for MACKO. You could sense that it was a better played round, better util usage.
And Tim somewhere.
Tim somewhere. Buzzing. Oh. Oops. I mean, that's what they needed. That's what.
In a map that requires hard breach, they get the spray round and a very extended engagement. ShyKo finds Dora at the same second. The Deimos. A drive down cargo. Look at that quick on the hunt. Caught the Deimos, almost caught the Blitz. Has to move, hot foot it somewhere safe, but where is safe? Didn't go above, is about to find another fight, but he wasn't. Oof, I thought he was aware of it. But he knew that it's some breach though. Gets themselves in, the pressure, the drop, the coverage around either side. There's the smoke on anything that could get an early pick. Brede has to pick his moment perfectly. Blinded and hit by the impact, but Ghost gets one on Brede, leaving themselves alone. Look at the time. Sprayed on the back and through the soft. Down at the bottom of Fish. Solotov the Daemons got caught, probably trapping somebody and suffered the wrong side of it, but it's a long spray and fight. Falcons, they're going to keep pushing on. Akwi does find Defat. Ghost finds ShyKo. There's the end of Solotov. So this one, fortunately, they tried to solve a problem by forcing their way through it. Usus does find one. Can Usus and Brede against a clash of all try and find an end to this round.
Can be difficult for them. MACKO are not looking to give them any picks, and this should be an easy pick for Akwi, which it will be. And again, they know exactly where Brede is going to be, and that clash can just meander over and bury this round where it stands. Just a case of who's going to get the kill. Who wants it? Anyone? There we go. Lolo is the highest bidder. So,
find ShyKo, but ShyKo just gets the direct track out. Will they know? Yes, they do. Oh dear, there is support coming up the stairs, but he wins it out anyway. Didn't even need the Valkyrie. Solotov does find Akwi, but 40 seconds left now, and at this point, with the pressure of that grenade gone, with Dora getting one more and Lolo too, MACKO starting to spur themselves to life. They've delayed and sort of deferred Falcons to have to alternate routes. They're concerned about entirely going for the plant, misses an opportunity. And I think they've realized they're trying to be used as bait here, so they're not going to send themselves any further. But 15 seconds, Brede finding a fight by themselves underneath, still unable to get it connected. Usus does get Teb, but no time to get to the kit and follow through, so just tries to dunk on Teb a little bit.
Well, he wouldn't be the first pro. They're making Falcons work for these rounds. They're not looking to sit above and die. It's, you know, as soon as that little bit of pressure comes in, you know what? Try and deny access to the building. Just full stop. Not even let them in.
Well, there goes the Brava. There almost goes the Twitch. Won't know that they've got the confirm there. And Efak gets Akwi. They are pinging the route to the player. But where they are, I mean, chances are they has the direct vertical on towards the double breach if they've made it. Oh, Tab has Efak up through the hatch. Default plant, but they've got to keep Dora distracted above. They've got to make sure that they are confident to swing. So that is the job here of Solotov. There's 2 players. Sorry, there's 1 player. They're watching. They are able to keep them busy, but there's that vertical a second too late. Solotov did his job, and now it's down for Brede and ShyKo to try and do the end of it. Dora and Lolo want to fight their way back across slowly and steadily. Single engagements. The Brede wins one out. And now as Lolo pulls them into the 1 versus 1, it's a fantastic gun on a slow operator against Brede with not a lot of health. Holding on towards the Exo side. There's the first, there's the second, there's the swing! Confirms the kill. They thought they had the time, and they were right. Lolo levels it out and ties us back up.
Oh, Lolo.
Overextending the push here. They're still going to get the read on it. They want this blitz to smash through at the right time, but instead going to pull the smash away and cleverly use the Twitch drone to remove anything on the back. There's a C4 onto Shaiko though, so only 6 in a row. No more, no less. But now with a blitz in the roll, they're going for the plant demo. They're going to see if they can just try and sneak this one in, but then look at Falcons just driving up. There's the drop onto 1. And there's MACKO instantly responding. Falcons tried to sneak it in and instead drive in, but EFAC maybe a bit slow on it. MACKO flooded themselves in. I mean, okay, well, we're into OT. MACKO get there, but felt a few that could be stolen or smashed or sort of swindled away from each other. Back down to the basement and back down to EFAC being the first body. Hey, remember when this happened once before? It was still 1 out by Falcons. And as you said, it's a full send on towards Axo. And there's the drive round. Covered, watched and worried about the swing with the fire gone, but there's still just vertical. And Solotov finds Teb though, so maybe there's a little bit less of it. No, Ghost is the one in this position, watching and waiting. There's some of the coverage. Great, but he still had the awareness. Akwi is the one that gets Solotov though. Usus is still alive. Now, where is the blitz gonna go? Just drives, quick and heady for the fight. Can't get out the rotate in time. 30 seconds. The 3 versus 2. Dora inside the site, watched, but there's no real route or entrance caught. During the animation, Shaiko swings round, leaves Ghost alone, and there's no getting this from the vertical. So instead, dropped, swung through, gets 1, but there's 2! They've gone for the plant though, 6 seconds, has to swing it out. Shaiko sticks it, can't quite get out in time. Reloads, 2 goo mines either side, has to give himself options. There's at least the first. The impact DMP will pull some attention. There's the second. A very daunting sound in this. Reloads Ghost. Oh, he knows it's a narrow margin, but it's not one. Shaiko can't. Sure if there's, you know, an Elamine underneath the swing round. There could be the pressure anywhere on any of these angles, and you can see Falcons are just waiting for them. They're sort of saying, look, come in. And then don't be a shield anymore. Ghost, come in and get shot in the face. Monty, come in and get C4'd out the building. 15 seconds. Falcons, all they need is seemingly what they can take, and what they can take is everybody. A flawless demo. And Falcons cement themselves.
Whilst they were probably going to be really unhappy with this result, they should be happy with the progress they're making.
There's a parallel universe, honestly, where MACKO win this 2-0. They've put in a performance capable of winning this 2-0, but for a couple of rounds going different ways. The first, you know, on Clubhouse 7-8, even on Nighthaven, there was a couple of rounds really that they should have won, where individual players on the side of MACKO really are just allowing the round to be retaken away from them. Ghost nearly got a 1 versus.
But with that, Falcons see themselves through, and we get to speak to the winners as we have users with us on the broadcast. Good evening. This was a long game. Obviously, it was a 2-0, but both games going into overtime. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling tired already.
Understandable.
It was the first game. You have a second game, Usus.
I know, I'm just too hot. It's too hot right now in the UK.
Users, with that result, you get the invite to EWC. As the team that currently holds the title for that event, how important was it that you and your team qualified?
Obviously, very important. It's the main goal of the whole stage, and that's the goal from the start. Even like when we made the team, we were trying to qualify for every event. Doesn't matter what the event is.
Usus, I think, generally speaking, the team that wins the first BO3 and then has to wait for the second one to play the late game usually is at a disadvantage. What are you guys gonna do, I guess, between the break and this BO3 that's about to happen?
I'm not sure, to be honest. They're probably discussing it now. Obviously, I've been waiting for the interview, so I'll have to find out myself. But I don't know if we're gonna rest or play ranked or what.
How does 3 hours of team deathmatch sound?
Doesn't sound good. We didn't actually play deathmatch today because we didn't have time because it was a bit of an early game. Maybe that's why it was so close.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That impacted the team ritual. Are the guys still baiting in corners in TDM?
Of course they are.
Literally, I called them out on Twitter. I saw your manager atting people under my tweet, and still people are still doing it. That's insane.
No, Paul is one of them. Frenchie R6. He's one of the campers as well, so I don't know why he's talking.
Obviously, let's take our minds back to the first game, obviously, with that Clubhouse game. There was something you found particularly funny in the alt chat, obviously. There was that Twitch happening. You were spamming a lot of ha-has in the chat. What exactly happened?
I don't know. Temp just started talking randomly in chat, and then obviously that round, I think you probably replayed, where he was like a bar at the guy was playing, and he just let the guy knife his teammate, and then we won the whole game because of that. So I was just laughing at that.
I've got to ask you, what was the team speak like when you guys so sort of running in front of the guy and just knifed the guy planting?
It was, well, obviously when he was like in the animation of running, it was just silent, but then when he knifed him, everyone just started laughing as well, so it was good. I think that brought the vibes. That brought the vibes up as well.
How important is the mental? You know, when you said it brings the vibes up, because that first map really was a tricky one. It was disrupted with the rehost and everything going on. Those types of maps must be quite hard to play in.
Yeah, I think for everyone, not just our team, Rios are annoying. They just like take you out of the momentum, take you out of the swing of things. It's hard to get back on it, but I think we did well to manage it in the end. Obviously, they did better than us. Like if we were falling up, there's another Rios. They came back and were fighting a bit better than us, but we ended up turning around. So.
All right, well, it takes off the first game for the day, though. As said, you still have one more to play, obviously against Virtus.pro or Gen.G. Who do you think it's going to be? Maybe, you know, if it ends up being Virtus.pro as well, that is a good chance for a revenge for you guys at the beginning of the stage.
Yeah, I'm going to predict VP win, but I wouldn't be like completely surprised if Gen.G win, because I think the way Gen.G play, VP don't really like that, so it'll be a close game, I think.
All right, cool. I guess, you know, if you don't have anything to do in the 3 hours, you can come join us on the Endless Desk if you want to, you know, set us up for the next few games. But we'll let you go for now. Obviously, best of luck with the next game for today.
Thank you.